To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejados de las
This here's
puertas.
a wild ride in the wilderness.
When indiscreet doors change.
So today on Miles from Main Street, we are doing another draft, this time for rides, and we are going to be talking about some big upcoming things we want to do. But first, I want to ask you guys to don't forget to hit subscribe and follow us on all of our fun socials. So, Brian, we have a little thing that we want to let everybody know about. The Haunted Mansion movie is coming out here pretty soon, and we would like to do a little shindig with everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah, Haunted Mansion comes out on July 28th. They have not released showtimes or the ability to buy the tickets yet, but we're aiming for a 6 o'clock show on the 28th. And as soon as I see the ticket information pop, I will make sure to let everybody know out on Facebook and Instagram. We're going to do something at the Marcus Bay Park Theater in Green Bay, Wisconsin, again on July 28th around 6 o'clock. I'm just going to ask that you guys buy your own tickets for that show as soon as I let you know. And then I will find a place near there for us to have some social time, maybe a drink, and just kind of get to say hello to each other. Mikhailo, you're going to come up from Madison and join us in Green Bay?
Yeah, I'm going to be making the trek to Green Bay. I do that probably about like 2 or 3 times a year anyways, so I will definitely make the trek for Haunted Mansion in some Brian time.
Awesome. I appreciate you doing that. I hope others will come and join us as well. In fact, I've decided I'm going to dig into my own little pocket, and if we can get at least 10 people to let us know that they're coming, I will get a movie poster and give that away to one lucky attendant.
Wow, that's exciting.
I think that'll be fun. I think this could be a fun little get together, and it'd be great to meet some of our listeners. So I hope you guys have enough time to be able to come up and visit and plan for this. So again, that's July 28th that we will do that.
Cool. And so the next thing that we have for you guys today is we're doing another park draft. So the first one that we did was around quick service. So basically, Brian and I went back and forth literally drafting quick service restaurants. And if anybody here doesn't know how a draft works, basically if Brian picks one ride or quick service or restaurant, I can't pick that same one. So we're trying to build our best park. But between the two of us, we can't have all the same stuff. So that's the excitement behind drafting all of this stuff. I feel like I had a pretty decent draft, and it was fun the way that I did it, where I kind of like ranked things when I went through. So hopefully I'll have the same kind of success on this draft.
Well, I'll wish you the best of luck, I guess. But I've taken into account some of your likes, and I've taken into account some of the things that I want. So I'm hoping my list will be good this time around, and I won't have to worry about you getting in my way.
So I had a couple questions about how we're going to do this here, Brian, because okay. Brian is the mastermind of all of this, and maybe we can switch things up. Or maybe you already thought about this, but what if we did like different segments of rides? So if we did like 3 roller coaster type rides, 3 dark rides, and then like 3 wild cards or something like that.
I think that's a good idea. I've been toying with a lot of that as well as I've been planning for this week. And, it's hard to just want to grab all of the top bill rides, right? I mean, as you heard us do last week with the quick service, we were trying to find things that would go to the masses, like it went well for everybody. So we can't just have thrill rides galore that no little kid can get on.
Mhm.
So I think that kind of makes it a fair fight to do it that way. So why don't we start with, I don't know, 3 dark rides?
Yeah, I like that.
All right. I had to go second last time. Do I get to go first this time?
I was thinking the same thing.
Ooh, I like that. All right. Even though I can never understand the line for this ride,
No.
I am doing it.
Oh.
Peter Pan's Flight.
I'm sorry, Kristen. I'm sorry. The funny part here, Brian, is this probably would have been my first pick also.
Well, and the thing is that, if we're doing this way, I'm thinking you're getting first pick on the next grouping, and I'm going to lose out there. So anyway, Peter Pan's Flight, it's a crowd pleaser for everyone. It's a very popular ride. I had to go with it.
It makes a lot of sense. And to be honest, it's funny because Peter Pan's Flight gets a lot of flack because it's like, I mean, it's an older dark ride. There's some stuff in it that is actually very cool, but like you said, like I never understand why that ride gets such a long line. But it's like once you're on the ride, you kind of understand. Like honestly, my favorite part is when you're like swooping across the pirate ship and you can kind of like you're in one scene and then like you come back around and you're in another scene. I love that part. And then the part where you're over London, also very cool. But yeah, I mean, I still don't get it. Like I don't understand why the line is always so long, but at the same time I do get it because it is a great ride. And I mean it's been there forever. So okay, so I mean I say I would have picked that first. But my next pick is really the obvious pick for me. And I am going to go ahead and pick Haunted Mansion as my number 1 dark ride.
Yeah, I should have seen that coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done, sir. Well done.
I mean, it's just so beloved. I love it. Kristen loves it. A little story about when we got engaged. I don't know if I probably have told the story on the podcast, but I'm going to tell it again anyways. At one point when we were on that ride, the plan was that we were going to ride the ride, we were going to get off, and I was going to propose in front of the PhotoPass cast members up front. The ride ended up breaking down and we needed to be evac'd. And like in my head, I was like, do I propose on Haunted Mansion? But then I was like, you know what? I'll wait till we get outside because there will be people there to take our pictures. And I still to this day, I'm kind of sad that I didn't do it right on Haunted Mansion because I definitely had the opportunity to. But yeah, I love Haunted Mansion. It's definitely my favorite dark ride. And it's beloved by many. And it's a great ride. I just love how the front is like legit kind of scary, and then the back end is kind of like the fun scary. So yeah, really, really great ride to put into a park.
I would totally agree. Yeah, should have taken Haunted Mansion. I'm kind of as you said with Kristen being mad about Peter Pan, like my wife's going to kill me over this. So it's been fun. No, she'll smack me around maybe, but it's okay. My number 2, I'm going to go with Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I really enjoy that ride. And again, it's another beloved ride that, it's a little newer to the park, but it's a fun one. And everybody loves Winnie the Pooh.
That's very true. And there's some really, I mean, it's very whimsical and fun, but there's also some really cool real world effects that are on that ride that I enjoy a lot.
Yes, I totally agree. I was recently thinking about when he falls asleep. Like when you say like cool effects, like when he falls asleep and floats up into the air. I think that's a great looking effect.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is my turn. And I am going to go with, I thought I knew exactly what I was going to go with, and now I'm waffling. Okay, yeah. I've made my decision. I'm going to go with Frozen.
Nice choice.
Mm-hmm.
Frozen is weird to me. I love the ride. It's great, but Maelstrom was so much fun.
Yeah, and I feel like and you'll hear this from other people who loved Maelstrom. I hear a lot that they will say, I loved Maelstrom, but Frozen does it justice. Like Frozen is good enough to not be overly angry that it's not still Maelstrom. But Maelstrom was just so good that I'm still sad it's not Maelstrom. But if it needed to be anything, I feel like they did a decent job with making it Frozen. And I feel like that's kind of part of the reason I do still enjoy that ride as Frozen, was because Maelstrom was so good. But yeah, that's kind of why I picked it a little bit, because of Frozen and Maelstrom. And honestly, I was kind of waffling between Ratatouille and Frozen. And I don't, Ratatouille is cool. I just don't, and maybe it was just because of the first time I rode it, I felt motion sick, but like, I just can't get too into that ride. Like it always has a long line, and I just, if I had to wait in line an hour for that ride, I wouldn't do it. I would not get in line. Like I think I would only ever do a lightning lane or a short queue. Like I just don't. But yeah, but Frozen's my second pick.
Well, and you bring up my last pick. I'm taking Remy.
Wow.
Yeah, I have to. I think, it's a fun ride, and it's going to fit well into my park.
And and the reason I was waffling between them was because it's a big ride. Like it's one of those like now new age dark rides that everybody loves. But Brian, I think I'm gonna make you pretty sad, because with my last pick for dark rides,
you're not. You can't. You're not doing it.
I was about to make the pick, and now I'm waffling again.
Oh, waffle away. Waffle away.
Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna do it, and then I'm gonna explain myself. Mickey's Runaway Railway.
Okay, so let's stop right here. I don't. As I was going, like I wasn't fully prepared for this dark
I can
ride
tell
stuff, and I'm going through my list, kind of trying to get ready for the next section of thrill rides, and I've got Runaway Railway in that list.
as a thrill ride.
It's thrilling to me.
It's thrilling to you because of Mickey and Minnie. It doesn't go fast. It's dark and it takes you through a ride.
Okay. Can we include Guardians in this list?
No, because that's a legit roller coaster.
But it's dark.
But it's an actual roller coaster.
I raise you a test track.
Yeah, but how fast does Mickey and Minnie's go? Test Track goes it's the fastest ride on property.
I'm gonna go sit in a corner and lick my wounds.
Well, I mean, we didn't specify, and for me, I would say that Mickey and Minnie's is a dark ride, just for like what it is.
How can I have a park without Mickey and Minnie's?
So, and the reason I was waffling was I thought Mickey and Minnie's, and I was like, I can't believe Brian hasn't taken this yet. But then I thought, Midway Mania, and Kristen and I have been having some really great times on Midway Mania recently, and it's kind of become like a new favorite. Like before, like when it first came out, obviously it was like the ride, and then so many other rides have come out since that like it's really kind of been pushed to the back. But recently we've kind of like rediscovered it and like reignited an excitement for it. But just Runaway Railway is just an amazing ride. So
It is one of my favorites.
And you thought it was a thrill ride.
Oh, it was on that list. Like I said, I'm just gonna go over here and lick my wounds, and we'll move along. I feel embarrassed. Like I feel like I haven't done this draft justice. Like I didn't define my dark rides clearly enough to myself.
To yourself.
I see. When I think dark rides, I think the classic Disney dark ride, Haunted Mansion, Small World, Peter Pan. And then you said Frozen, which I had kind of even forgotten about. And that threw Remy into my head. Not ever thinking, because I had put Runaway Railway on the other list, thinking that was more of not more out of the box of dark ride to myself. So that's where I've gone wrong. Let me lick this wound over here, and we can just move on.
And I think, well, I'm not moving on. I'm going to keep talking about it because this is a good thing to talk about. And I think the big reason why is because when people talk about dark rides, it is those old school dark rides, because that's like what the Disney company like basically invented those types of rides back in the day.
Right.
But you do have to look at it as like Disney is still innovating within that like realm of ride.
Right.
And I think Runaway Railway is like
do we need to keep beating this?
I think Runaway Railway is a good representation of how Disney is bringing the dark ride into 2020. Yeah, okay. Brian has seen the folly of his ways, and
I'm stuck with Peter Pan, Winnie the Pooh, and Remy's Ratatouille Adventure.
I mean, I wouldn't scoff at that list if I was going into a park and they were like, these are the dark rides that we have. I'd probably be like, oh, okay, solid.
I'm gonna just keep going with the fun.
Okay,
this is
moving on to roller coaster. I guess we have to. It's roller coaster type attractions. So like, because I mean that makes sense that Brian had Runaway Railway on there, and it's not a roller coaster, but it's a thrilling attraction. So, I guess thrilling attractions that, I mean, go fast and are thrilling in that way. Because I would also put, I mean, I'm not thinking either of us are going to pick this, which is why I'm using it as an example. Mission Space. I would consider that in this realm of attractions, but hard pass for me.
I just wish I would have gone back and picked Impressions de France because. No, I'm kidding. I mean, it's dark,
Yeah.
right? That would fall under my definition. Oh my gosh.
You guys always yell at me for calling those types of rides not rides because they're like shows.
They are shows. It's
But
a movie.
I still kind of consider that a ride.
Ugh.
Anyways, my first pick is a big obvious one, and I'm just gonna take it because I have the first pick. Okay, Brian? I am picking.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No.
So I am picking Guardians of the Galaxy with my number one pick.
All right. He gets Guardians. I'm taking it off my board.
I get Guardians. And the thing about Guardians is that it's like quickly becoming one of my favorite rides in the park. We rode it 4 times the last time we were at Disney, and like we got a different song every single time. And I've been recently watching Mammoth Club and Molly, and apparently they were talking about how like 4 of them wrote it around like when it first opened, and they all got the same song on their first ride. We were lucky enough to like get 4 different songs, and the last song was September, the song that we wanted. So we had a lot of fun, and it's an amazing ride. And Brian, I think it's one of these rides that like you gotta ride. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it on our next trip. I can't wait. I've just talked to a friend of mine. Hello, Christina. She was blown away by it, and so I can't wait until I can ride it. Check that out. So I am, I've been going back and forth for this one, but I have to go with Rise of the Resistance. Being the Star Wars guy I am, I gotta have Rise of the Resistance in the park.
Solid.
It's the best ride I have ridden. I haven't been on Guardians yet, so it definitely is at the top of my list. And what's there to say more than that? I mean,
it's true.
At this point, I think people know that Rise of the Resistance is a great ride.
Honestly, I think Rise is the best ride in Walt Disney World, just because of how immersive it is. It's not that it's gotten stale, but it's like I've ridden it enough times now that like I ride it and I'm like, that's really fun. But the first couple times I rode it, and maybe that's what's going to happen with Guardians, but the first couple times I rode Rise was just like, wow. So that's kind of gone away a little bit now. But it's the best ride I've ever ridden in any theme park anywhere. So,
and now it's in my theme park.
Exactly. Well, now it is my turn. And I'm going to go with an old classic. And I'm going to pick Tower of Terror. And this is kind of like this is definitely a personal pick, because Tower of Terror is one of my favorite rides at the park, if not my the favorite ride. And it kind of it's like Tower of Terror Haunted Mansion. Like they both kind of have that like spooky, scary vibe to them, and like that's what I like. Like I very much enjoy those types of rides. And so yeah, it's definitely kind of a personal pick. It's pretty old now at this point, but still like garners a crowd. Like it still like pulls a crowd constantly. So
Oh yeah. Well, so we did the Guardians version in Disneyland, of course, and it had been a long time since I have ridden Tower of Terror. We've skipped it the last couple of times because it was just kind of like, been there, done that.
Mhm.
I had forgotten what it's like to drop in that show, in that ride. So I can see why people keep going back to it.
Yeah, and it's just very unique. I feel like that's kind of one of the things that it has going for it is that it's a unique ride and a unique ride system. So
Yes,
I like it.
For my second pick, I'm going to take Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. No, huh? Not.
I mean, if you wanna, we can check with the judges.
Yeah, the judges are going to throw me out the door. Speaking of personal picks, for the second pick, I will take Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Ooh.
This has been my personal favorite for a very long time, and it's got to be in my park for that reason.
Yeah,
it's the wildest ride in the wilderness. It's got to be.
You are the Big Thunder guy. Almost every time, and you'll probably get one here pretty soon when we go. Every time I go and I'm on Big Thunder, I'll either just Snapchat Brian the entire time. I think didn't I video call you one time when I was on Big Thunder?
I think you may have.
Yeah. I think I did. Brian likes Big Thunder.
It's awesome, and we got to ride it twice at Disneyland, which was excellent. So I've ridden it twice in a day. I almost rode it. I think we rode it back to back when we were there one time. It was raining, so that the line wasn't too bad. We rode it twice, and then we jumped on the train and headed up to the front of the park. But yeah, Big Thunder Mountain is just one of those. The first time I got to go to Disney World, I had in my head, I just want to get to all of the iconic rides that you see in the commercials. And I always think about the front of that train coming around the mountain. And that's always stuck in my head from those commercials when I was a kid. And I think that might be part of the reason that I just absolutely love riding it. Other than the fact that it's fun. I mean, it's just pure joy.
Yeah. It's very much kind of like quintessential Disney parks. So
absolutely, yes.
Well, with my third pick, I'm between two right now, and I'm going to make a game time decision. Here it comes. The decision is coming. I'm going to make it right here, right now, live on this podcast. Expedition Everest.
Oh.
I was actually, Brian, I was waffling between Everest and Flight of Passage.
That is exactly where I was. Exactly. And I was hoping you would give me Expedition Everest. But I'm going to be taking Flight of Passage. So we might as well just
there you go.
Talk about the two of them right now.
Well, and so Expedition Everest for me is very much a family thing. It's a great ride, and there's lots of really cool things in it. Again, it's a little older now at this point, but definitely still holds up as a roller coaster and as a ride. But like sentimentally, my family loves this ride. My brother, my sister, my mom, my dad, we will ride this ride several times in a row. And so I just felt like I had to take it because of that. But Flight of Passage, when you're not feeling sick on it, amazing ride. Amazing ride. It's just insane how cool that ride is.
It really takes your breath away. And yeah, I mean, it's just amazing. Feeling like you're flying. Feeling the Banshee between your legs, like you're actually riding a Banshee. That's just incredible. So, Expedition Everest is a family favorite of our, for us as well. My kids love it, except for one. I had one of those dad fail moments where I didn't really prepare her for this ride, and I was thinking she knew what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And because she's ridden it, I thought she had ridden it before. But we get to the top where the track is broken, and I start going, what happened? I don't get it. What's going on? And we start falling backwards, and she had no idea that was coming. And she flipped the flip out. And on our next trip, I don't know that I have a shot of getting her back on that ride. And there have been other times now that we've tried to get her on other rides that she has said, absolutely not, I'm not going on that ride. And Credit Coaster was one of them. We did not get her on there. It's just like, I think I may have scarred her a little too much. So hopefully I can get her over that. It'll take some work, but
that's too bad.
But Everest, yeah, I love that ride. I love Flight of Passage. I'm happy with Flight of Passage, so it's okay. I'll move on without Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. All right, so wild cards. I get the first pick, eh?
Correct.
I didn't really plan this out well. I should have gotten first pick with the other section. But anyway, wild card rides. This is rides. I can't pick Mickey and Minnie's, right?
Correct, because it's been drafted already.
Okay. Well, all right. So I think for my first pick, I'm going to take. Yes, I'm going to do it. We're taking Tron.
Okay, yeah, that's solid pick.
Brand new. I haven't read it. I haven't wrote it yet. You have not wrote it yet.
Nope.
I've heard great reports about it. Tron it is.
Yeah, that should be. I mean, I'm excited to ride it. I've been hearing really, really good things, so I'll let you know because I'm going to be the first one to ride it between the two of us.
It's been the thing lately.
Yeah. So, with my first pick in the wild card, I am going to take the People Mover.
The People Mover.
Mm-hmm.
Good choice. Good choice. I love it.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of cool because when you think about it, I mean, I'm not sure if this counts at all. On paper, it's just going to say People Mover. But when you think about it, you're getting a couple different rides with this one ride. Like, you don't get to ride the actual rides, but like you get to look into Buzz Lightyear. You get to look into or go underneath Space Mountain. You get to like go through a bunch of these cool attractions.
But I think this brings up a question. Does this mean that you are now picking Buzz Lightyear and Space Mountain?
No.
Because are you actually able to look into those rides if you don't have them in your park?
So maybe you can tell me that I'm wrong, but for me, I would say that yes, you can look into them, but no one could ride them. So it would be as if you're going through Buzz and like Buzz isn't doing anything because nobody can ride it. So you can look into them, but they're not being ridden because they're not parks at my park, or that they're not rides at my park.
I'm just picturing the People Mover with tunnels and TV screens. That's about what you're going to do to us here.
I mean, pretty much.
Okay.
I think I have to say this. I think I also get Ron on the Go because most likely he's on the People Mover.
Well, actually, this past weekend he was on Millennium Falcon. for
Millennium
an entire
Falcon,
day.
yeah.
Yeah. My number 2 pick, I was worried you were going to select it, which is why I spent some time thinking about my first pick. But my number 2 pick is going to be Kilimanjaro Safaris.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. That was definitely on my short list for wild cards, 100%.
It's so much fun. And my safari will have the Little Red storyline.
Ooh, bringing that back.
It's a great story, and it made it, it kind of gave you a little bit of an adventure feel as you were doing it.
Yeah, it really did. I wrote it back in the day when it still had a little bit of that storyline going on, but eventually it just kind of all went away. But yeah, it's a great ride and it's humongous.
Yes,
It's a very big ride. So you're adding a lot of real estate to your park.
I am. But I'll add Wild Africa Trek to it at some point, and it'll start making me money. So
Yeah, exactly.
there you go.
So, Brian, I'm going to ask you to go with me here.
All right, let's go. Hey, this is wild card. Anything goes.
Okay, you said it. I am picking Pirates of the Caribbean Disneyland version.
We defined last week
That it's only Disney World?
that it's only Disney World. So,
Anyways, I would pick Pirates of the Caribbean anyways.
all right,
Normal Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates
Yep.
for you. Yeah, I've had a busy week, and I need to just apologize a little bit that I haven't done the planning that needs to happen with this. I really wanted to get it done, but May is a tough time at work, and it's been crazy. So I will with number 3. With number 3, I'm going to go classic like you did. I'm going with Carousel of Progress.
Wow, yeah. Also on my short list.
Yeah, everyone likes a good story with Dad. So, it's I'm the history guy. I enjoy that ride. Or
Yeah,
show
for
it.
sure.
I mean, you could call it a show, but you do ride around it. So,
Well, we have come to the last pick of the rides. And I'm waffling between two. I have been for a little while now. But I've decided what my last pick is going to be. And with the last pick in the 2023 Rides Ultimate Theme Park Draft will be Living with the Land.
that is a nice choice. I like it. I had a couple of others on my board that I thought you would have gone after instead of that, but the land is great, and you'll have plenty of produce for your park.
Exactly. And it's also, I mean, it's another personal one. It's not the ride that people run to first, but it's definitely a ride that is near and dear to my heart, and it's a ride that I very much love at Disney. And I was actually waffling between Living with the Land and Spaceship Earth, just because they both kind of have that like feel, like the same kind of like Disney like education feel to them. But I've just been loving Living with the Land the past couple of years, and so I just had to go with Living with the Land.
I love it. Your list of rides is enviable, I think. I think it's going to make for a great park. And, I can't wait to see the end here. Mikhailo, I've been trying to lose weight recently, and I've wanted to be buying like some smoothies here and there just to get that sweet in for me. So I've got a BlendJet 2 portable blender, and I'm able to make smoothies with this thing just for myself.
Brian, I too have a BlendJet 2, and I have been having a lot of fun with it, making smoothies on my own too. And the BlendJet 2 is portable, so you can blend up a smoothie at work, a protein shake at the gym, or even a margarita on the beach.
It's small enough to fit in a cup holder, but powerful enough to blast through tough ingredients like ice and frozen fruit with ease.
BlendJet 2 is whisper quiet, so you can make your morning smoothie without waking up the whole house.
It lasts for 15 or more blends and recharges quickly via USB-C.
And best of all, BlendJet 2 cleans itself. Just blend water with a drop of soap and you're good to go. The cool thing about these BlendJets and what made us want to look into BlendJet is they have some Disney patterns. And you know us, we like our Disney things. Mine personally is a Buzz Lightyear Toy Story BlendJet. So I'm really excited about that. Brian, which Disney character did you get on your BlendJet?
I got Mickey Mouse because I'm a big Mickey Mouse fan, and actually all three of my kids have got one now. So we've got a Minnie Mouse one, and we got the aliens from Toy Story.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Toy Story ones that they have on there, and I've been having a lot of fun with mine.
You name it, they've got a lot of different Disney ones, and I think it's so fun. What are you waiting for? Go to blendjet.com and grab yours today, and be sure to use the promo code MFMS12 to get 12% off your order and free 2-day shipping.
No other portable blender on the market comes close to the quality, power, and innovation of the BlendJet 2. They guarantee you'll love it or your money back.
Blend anytime, anywhere with the BlendJet 2 portable blender. Go to blendjet.com and use the code MFMS12 to get 12% off your order and free 2-day shipping.
Shop today and get the best deal ever.
All right, so for trivia this week, I thought we'd get somebody new on here. So Stuart Boyles is joining us. He is a big Disney fan. You can also find him on the Welcome to Level 7 podcast. Stuart, thanks for joining us.
How's it going, Brian? Nice to be here.
It's going great. We just got done talking about our attractions that we're drafting for our new theme park, and I think I beat Mikhailo in this one, so we'll find out.
Oh yeah.
We'll find out what everyone else thinks. But Stuart, you've been a big fan of Disney for a while. Before we got started, we were talking about Lou Mangello and his podcast. What brings you to Disney? What is that hook for you?
Okay, well, it's a lot of things, but chronologically, So I must have been one of the kids who watched Robin Hood when they released it from the vault and they had it in the clamshell VHS case. Because I found out recently that was the first VHS home video release. So I probably watched that thing like on repeat. And so so much so that when I was a wee lad, I let's say convinced, but probably threw a fit until they actually did it, my family into doing the Tournament of the Golden Arrow play in our backyard, wherein I played the stork and Robin Hood, of course. As you do. And my little sister played Maid Mary, and we won't go into that. And so, that it's been a long time. But what I really like as an adult really found I liked about Disney was there is something, it's the level of service. And that's such a broad term, but it's this idea that you walk into the park and they are putting out the nines for every person who walks in. They're putting out the best of the best thing that they can do, the best service they can be. You've heard about like the Disney Scoop, where they're picking up trash no more than 10 paces around each other or whatever. I mean, it's those types of things. And as a customer service person, that means a lot to me. So the other big thing is when I had children, or not when I had children, when I first, my oldest is food sensitive all over the place, up and down, left and right, can't eat anything. And so we go to Disney, and that's the one thing, that's the one place where they can eat, no holds back. You know, we went to the boathouse for the first time.
That's incredible.
And they were like, "You would like swordfish? Here is swordfish." And we're like, "We don't get swordfish. Here's swordfish." So, I mean, they have this desire to take care of their guests. And to me, that is one of the things that makes the world a better place, is the want to take care of other people. So if you have a park that is, you know, the size of San Francisco, where its goal is to take care of people, I think you're in a better, you know, you're in a good place. So yeah.
That's great. I love that story. You know, I can definitely agree on many levels there, because I too, at one point, enjoyed that service beyond the Six Flags that I was used to. And, you know, that started my journey with Disney as well. So I love that. And I had no idea that Robin Hood was the first VHS. It makes sense, but that's an awesome little tidbit you threw out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of got this resurgence. You know, you watch TikToks and there's people just strumming guitars, playing the whistle stop track, and you know what that is because you've heard it and it's in your brain now. So you're welcome. And so now it's just got this resurgence, and people love it. And if they screw it up in the live action remake, I'm going to be very upset.
I think they've been doing pretty good with it, with the live action stuff. So I might get roasted for that now too, but you know,
your mileage may vary on that, is all I'm going to say.
All right. So we're going to do some trivia questions with you. I asked you if you want to do parks or movie and TV. So we're going movies and TVs tonight. The questions are copyrighted 1998. This is coming from the good old Wonderful World of Disney trivia game that I found. So I will try to move them around and change them up as best I can. But
all right.
So number 1, in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, where does the evil queen tell the huntsman to take Snow White to kill her?
I mean, into the woods? Or is it into the unknown?
I was going to make a reference to the musical Into the Woods, but I appreciate the Disney reference there better.
I actually honestly do not know the answer to that question. I think it's Into the Woods, but I mean, I like Snow White, but it's not one of my go-to favorites. It certainly wasn't the first home video release, Disney Clamshell.
Well, I'm going to give you this one.
Okay.
The card says The Forest. So we're going to go with...
I mean, that's close.
Yeah, I think that. Woods works. I would have said that, so... All right, here we go. In the song from the Disney animated feature Robin Hood, who is who is referred to as the phony king of England? May possibly be the best song in the movie.
I mean, that's Prince John, the phony king of England. And I'm not going to sing it for you, no.
That would be Prince John. All right, we're 2 for 2. I'm liking it. All right, let's check the next card here. In Lady and the Tramp, what does Tramp call the neighborhood Lady lives in?
I don't even have a joke answer. I have no idea. The slums? It's not the slums.
It's not the slums. No, if you remember, she's more in a high affluent area. Yeah, so he calls it Snob Hill.
Ooh. Ooh. I feel like
Ooh.
I feel like there's areas around where I live right now that I could use that for.
Let's see. All right. You're not a Snow White fan, but maybe you're a Cinderella fan. In the animated feature Cinderella, what does the fairy godmother turn Major the horse into? The footman or the coachman?
It's the coachman because that's the guy who drives the horse, right?
I believe that is the guy. I was going to ask. I don't
Okay.
know the difference. So, is the footman the one that hangs on the back of the coach?
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
the footman, and I think that was turned in. I think the dog got turned into that one.
You are right. The horse is the coachman. So,
Okay, I have seen Cinderella many more times than I have seen Snow White. A child of a certain age, just that's what we watched. That's what we watched.
all right. I know we had talked more movies and TV here, but I feel like we got to finish up with a parks question.
Go for it.
So, what Fantasyland attraction at Disney theme parks is described as wild?
Oh, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, which is great. And I grew up on the West Coast, and so I'd been to Mr. Toad's Wild Ride many, many, many a time. And when we finally got closer to the East Coast side of the United States, and I was like, oh, we're gonna go to Magic Kingdom, and we're gonna get to no, there's no Mr. Toad there anymore. So yeah, I've ridden Mr. Toad's Wild Ride many a times, and it's fun.
It is a lot of fun. I got my first chance at it in February when we were out in Disneyland. It was a great ride. We really loved that we got on that. So I'm going to give you one more trivia question. This is the question from last week. Unfortunately, we did not get any responses. So I'm looking to you to win the prize this week. At the beginning of the song, Can You Feel the Love Tonight in The Lion King, what two characters lament the loss of their friend to love?
Oh, it's Simone. It's Timon and Pumbaa.
Exactly. So, Stuart, get me your address, and I will send out a keychain and sticker. And
oh, fantastic! Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. Hey,
get invited on a podcast and get treats. What? What's going on? Yeah,
that's what we're all about here. Making people happy.
That's great.
So, Stuart, thank you for coming on the show, playing some trivia with me tonight. Where can people find you?
So yeah, I'm pretty foundable on the Google. I'm not the chef from Vancouver. Anybody else, you can find me. So any of the other links are pretty much me. I'm pretty big on the Facebook, and you can always find me over at Welcome to Level 7, where the 7 is spelled out .com. That's our unofficial Marvel MCU podcast. We cover everything from if it's in the MCU, even the Netflix stuff, guys. If it's in the MCU, we're going to cover it at some point. So we're pretty current. We do have a couple of older things that we're trying to get back up to, but yeah, we're trucking right along and excited to see what's coming down the pipe with Secret Invasion and some of the other movies coming. So yeah, it's going to be great.
So, Stuart, thanks so much for coming on the show. It was great having you. Were you 4 or 5, I believe? That's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, 4 for 5?
I think that's trivia? I think that's what it was.
Listen, what did I miss? I missed the the Snob Hill.
Yes.
I'll have to remember that.
Yeah.
To be fair, I haven't seen Lady and the Tramp in forever. So.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Last week we said we were going to recap our quick service, and we never did that. So let's recap ours real quick. For my thrill ride attractions, I'm getting Rise of the Resistance, Flight of Passage, and Big Thunder Mountain. For my dark rides, I am going to get Peter Pan, Winnie the Pooh, and Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and somehow I'm going to wrangle Mickey and Minnie from you in a trade. And then from the pile of wild cards, I am getting Tron, Kilimanjaro Safari, and Carousel of Progress. That's a well-rounded park, if you ask me. Now, what about you, Mikhailo?
I started out with Haunted Mansion, and then I went with Frozen, and then I got Mickey's Runaway Railway, which made Brian really happy. And then I went with Guardians, Tower of Terror, and Expedition Everest. And then I went with The People Mover, Living with the Land, and Pirates of the Caribbean.
All great choices. I think either park, as far as these rides go, people are going to be super excited to get into these parks. Next time, we'll have to cover... What do you want to do? Character meet and greets? Do you want to do...
I think the next big section would be like table service restaurants.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do that. We'll do table service next time around.
I like it.
Hey, if you guys want to give me flack on the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway thing, feel free to hit us up out on Facebook on our community group, or come on out to Instagram where you'll find us there and let us know what you think. Where should I have gone? What other rides should I have picked? Maybe Mikhailo made a mistake in there. Let us know. It'd be great to have you talk with us out on those socials. Yeah, that's all I got. I don't know. That was it.
I really hope you keep that in there. Yeah, that's all I got.
I'm just so defeated over the Mickey thing. Like,
yeah, you should be sad. Well, I had a lot of fun crushing Brian's dreams, but like we always say, some live close,
but others don't.
So let's talk about it. We'll see you next time on Miles from Main Street.